I think we are live. Can you hear me? Can you see me? What's up, Matt? Trolls. Deanna. Bill. Jeff. Mark. Daryl. Zach. We got Chris, we got Bill, we got Eric. Speaker, what's up, dude? That's the sound is good. That's good to hear. You can hear my voice. You can. What's up, Gary? Michael. Fast Eddie. Music Sal, yeah. Stefan. Zoot, Scrap Dog, John says it sounded good. I believe him. Yeah, I got all the blue guitars out. It's blue everywhere, well, except for those, but you know. And I got the, you know, I should probably turn that off because those LEDs sometimes come through. I have a, there it goes. I was shooting a video earlier, and I usually turn those lights on for the video to, you know, liven the place up. What's up, Papa Blue? What's up, Nelson? What's up, Sir Gerbil? Scratch CPO? Larry? Justin? Got WJ Cooper 64, got Yeti Matzi, got Calvin, and the blue couch. Never forget the blue couch. What's up, Jimmy P? Got all the usuals here. Thanks for singing of the names you did, Larry. The singing of the names. What's up, Nick? Nova Scotia. That is the land of the sun now, isn't it? I suppose if you go high enough right now, you're probably in 24 hours of sun. Right? Can you get... Yeah, maybe you can't get northerly enough. Get inside the Arctic Circle. Yeah, I mean, it's not a Les Paul. It just looks like one. It's the double cut Les Paul. Yeah. The old upper switch. Speaking of that, remind me later, we'll take a look at, you know, my buddy there, Ryan Bruce Fluff, has a signature StingRay, and they just came out with the Sterling ones, which I'm sure he's happy about because, you know, let's face it, you can only sell so many of the premium ones. The Sterling is a far more attractive price point that is, you know, available to a lot more people financially. So it's always good. I was had run into Jared James Nichols at the Summer NAMM show, and they had been talking about doing a signature guitar with him. Gibson was for years, and it was finally happening. But it came out as an Epiphone, and they were like, you know, and he sort of insisted on Epiphone. And they're like, why do you want an Epiphone? And he was like, because I want to sell guitars. You know, just figured you'd do better. You know. What's up, JMT? In KC? Ogre Lord, what's up, dude? I have not tried the tremolo system. You know, I haven't gone through. It's been a busy week. I haven't gone. This is the first time I'm back at the guitar all week. I have not tried the tremolo system, and it's going back very soon. So probably gonna leave it. It's an expensive guitar. Expensive guitars I treat with kid gloves. You know, I don't like to spend a long time playing them. I tend to keep them wrapped up, and I, you know, tend to try to ship them back as in exactly the same condition as when they showed up. You know. Should I try the tremolo on the Strandberg? Did the Strandberg have a trem? I thought that was a hardtail, no? Did it have a trem? I don't know. Got to leave something for the user to go and explore themselves. Where's the cats? I think they're all upstairs. My wife has been out for most of the day, so they're in a turmoil. They're like, "Ooh, what?" They're not. They can't relax until she's back in the house. You know. What's the Epiphone Gibson sales number comparison? 201. I don't know if it's that crazy, but I'm sure that in sheer volume, they must sell more units just because of the you know, the price point. It's available to a lot more people financially, you know, than the more expensive one. I had a PV called a Gulf Coast blue, kind of like that one, not the shape, but the color. Oh yeah. You know, I sort of missed out on the what was that, the H2 that they had there, which was pretty good. Did I leave that? Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm like, what the? You guys probably can't hear, but I hear something. Hold on. That was going to annoy the shit out of me. I was like, no. Yeah, the button didn't have a trim, yeah. Some of them do, some of them don't. Your mileage may vary. Are you a huge Charvel fan? I am. Pros and cons. Please been looking at them. You know, I don't know that there's a ton of cons. I think their quality's been pretty damn good for their Made in Mexico series. The ones I've tried here have been pretty good. Maybe a little sharp fret ends. Not really, though. That can happen with any brand. You know, unless you're dropping money like this, where they, you know, for $2,800 you get perfect fret ends. But, you know, how about $800? And it's a little bit more. You'd probably be fine, but you might have to do a little, get a sanding sponge, clean them up a little bit. It happens. But I love the Charvels. We had the Ferrari red one here. I thought that was real nice. I love the, I think it's the Sandemus and the Aquaflake, the blue Aquaflake, you know. Quite frankly, in terms of like quality, I don't think you're going to have a problem. In terms of tone, I don't think you're going to have a problem. They use Seymour Duncan pickups. But you better know how to work a Floyd Rose unless you get a hardtail, because, you know, or unless you just get like a spring trim. That's the biggest hurdle to get over, is working with a Floyd Rose if it's your first time. Oh, they'll make you a little mental until you get used to them. Are there any cats? I don't see any. We have any cat? I don't think so. You know what, though? It's been hot out. The window's been closed. The shade's been down. And they're just like, they're kind of on strike. I wouldn't say it's super thin, but I wouldn't say it's actually a thick guitar. It's about the thickness of a Strat, roughly. I've seen the back of your chair. Oh my God, the cats have destroyed. But I bought this chair laying in a hospital bed in my living room with a broken leg in the summer of '03. And Staples was blowing these out. I bought 3 of them. This is the last of them. The other 2 eventually just broke. This is the last of those chairs. They were $49.95 each, and they're real leather. And one of my cats loves this chair. She sleeps in it like all the time. But they love, like Buddy, these suede guitar straps. The leather, the suede. He likes to gnaw it. It's like, Buddy, stop chewing on the friggin' guitar strap. He's like, oh, that's nice. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Hot one, 91 degrees, 51% humidity. That's pretty high. 70 dew point. Yeah, that's pretty gross. We had a dew point of like 73 this week. We had one hot sizzling day, but we got a dome on the way, big old heat dome. Gonna show up to town on like Monday and Tuesday. It's gonna bring the heat and humidity back. So Thursday was like hazy, hot, and humid. And then yesterday, it was breezy, but it blew in a lot drier air. It was hot still, but not the muggy. It's like you can live with the heat without the humidity. And then today, the same thing. Relatively low humidity compared to where it's, not low humidity. It's still in the mid-50s. Low humidity is like the mid-40s. But compared to the mid-60s, it's friggin' dry. You know, it's all relative. So it definitely felt better. Without a doubt, I was out doing yard work. I was good enough to do yard work. Won't buy leather furniture because of the cat. Oh my God, we have these like benches, these like leather benches that we got from Costco. They're storage benches. Got those years ago. And those cat, especially this one bench, like 2 of the benches untouched, or 3 of the benches, no problem. But this one bench up front, when I tell you they have absolutely shredded it, it's like, And the dining room chairs, oh my God. Again, we got those from Costco. Those are so nice. And these big high back leather cushy chairs, I think we got 8 of them. 4, definitely 4. I think he bought them in a 2-pack. And it was like $150 a pack. They were cheap for like what they were. And my God, they have destroyed those chairs. It is just, it's crazy. Crazy they are. And we have scratchers everywhere. I mean, you see them back there? See that? That's a big cat tower. With a lot of scratching stuff on it. I have a big giant scratcher I just replaced over there. We have them in the attic. We have them on the first floor. We put scratchers like everywhere. And they're like, no, this chair's feeling just right. It's like, will you get out of there? Cat found out that his nails punctured the leather couch, and he really enjoys it. Exactly. They're like, oh, Pop. Oh, wait. Oh, this is nice. Oh. It's like, will you get out of there? Oh, just brutal. Yeah, cats and leather. It's the reason why they're so commonly associated. Who could forget Catwoman's outfit? Did yard work yesterday, almost died. Yeah, it was hot, but it wasn't crazy muggy. So I went out and did a lot of yard work. I said, this is your day. This seems like the breeziest and the relatively driest day, like on the 10-day forecast. You better get out there and do it now. So I got out there and mowed the lawn and the weed whacker and all kinds of crap. Just trying to get whatever I could done. And then it's been creeping up though, and like they said certainly starting tomorrow, but definitely Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it's going to be hot. They're talking we could hit 100 by Tuesday. So I got a friend who trolls Craigslist and will send me listings and say, hey, I don't know if you know this, but there's this RG560 or something, a guitar that he knows that I like, in your area. So check it out. So a couple days ago, he had texted it to me. Emailed it to me and said, hey, there's one in your area. And I'd actually seen it already. For some reason, I happened to be on Craigslist and looking around. And I happened to see it. And I was like, yeah, I saw that. That's cool. But it's an RG560. And I was like, I already have one that color, actually. So, I already have one. And I got a text from Bobby today. He's like, you're not going to believe the guitar I just bought. I'm like, oh? Sends me a photo. Because I bought it off of Facebook. So the guy must have had it on Craigslist and on Facebook. It was definitely the same guitar. I said, it looks clean. It looked really clean. The only thing that was a little, oxidized and pretty bad were the knobs. And that happens on those guitars. Those knobs get the sweat on them and they tend to oxidize. So I don't know if anybody out there has done this. I have gone down the rabbit hole of cleaning machines, specifically stainless steel pin tumblers, ceramic tumblers, ceramic vibration bowls, right, where you put things in and it swishes them around, and these sharp ceramic and it cleans them. It's a dry cleaning method. They do some where they actually fill it with a solution. They put it in like a barrel. A lot of people who are into rifling, right? Because I guess it cleans the brass casings for a lot of rifle ammunition, right? So the ammunition gets spent, and I guess you can, I don't know, make another one or some shit, or they just want the casings, the brass casings. And so there's a whole friggin' industry around getting those clean. And I'm like, could this work on guitar parts? Right? Can what work in the jewelry industry work on guitar parts? Sure. So I am way, way into like, finding ways to efficiently clean, even if I got to just throw it out in the garage in some sort of a salad spinner, right? Some sort of rotational device. They say it literally takes like 24 to 48 hours. This isn't something that happens in like a few minutes, right? You got to like leave it in there as it sits there and slowly gets sort of just through the rubbing of either sand or ceramic shards. Sometimes they use stainless steel pins. There's all kinds of different medium. They use walnut. There's all kinds of different ways to do it. Yeah, walnut shells, exactly, Larry. They use it's like reloading ammo, and they have to get the casing like really clean, right, for the process to work correctly. So there's a whole cleaning thing that people go through, and I'm going to tell you, it's a cottage industry out there. From what I can see, that's like 90% of the people buying these things are for that purpose, it seems. And then there's a smaller group that's more into like jewelry or like small parts. But I am going down a friggin' rabbit hole of ceramic medium, glass beads, friggin' stainless steel pins seems to be pretty common. Sometimes they do it with a wet solution where they add this sort of like cleaner in with it, but I think I'd prefer a dry one especially for like the push-pull knobs, because most knobs, like the knobs on this guitar, which look like the Ibanez one, right, kind of knurled with a dome top, those are a screw, right? That's a side screw pin. The original Ibanez ones are friction and pretty rare. You don't see friction knurled knobs like that any longer. It seems like they're all side screw mount, right? With a side pin, a screw pin, a grub screw. Yeah. Or ultrasonic for hours. I have an ultrasonic cleaner. I've been kind of disappointed with the results. Certainly it cleans my glasses okay. But I think this is more for like literally it'll take the rust off of things like pretty amazingly. I mean, maybe the ultrasonic cleaner could do it, but my ultrasonic cleaner seems to max out at about 450 or 600 seconds. And that's the most it'll run for. I don't think there's a continuous. And I've had decent results when I turn the heater on in it, and I kind of get it going, add a little bit of like ammonia, something to break it up, alcohol, something to help break up grease. But I think I need something more like I said, you get some old bolt and you can put it in here and it comes out like it's almost like a sandblaster, right? It's just constant sort of abrasion that it goes through. I want to get a rock tumbler. They're kind of based on rock tumblers, if you think about it. Except rock tumblers go through a variation of, they go through like a variation of powders, right? To turn the rocks to polish the rocks, right? You should, it was 2008 raised to 30, dropped to 1,500. Who's this? Oh, Behringer Klon for 1,500. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, bro. You can buy them now for under $100. Baking soda works great with a sandblaster. The only downside to the sandblaster is the mess, right? So you're either going to have to get yourself a sandblasting booth, which is more money, or you're going to have to do it outside, which it'll make a mess in the driveway. You got to do it sort of like somewhere in your yard where you don't mind having all kinds of debris everywhere. Some people try to do it like over, like kiddie pools, right? Get yourself a little kiddie pool and try to use that to sort of, act as a way to sort of keep a check on all the waste that happens, right? When you're sandblasting, right? There's a lot of debris going everywhere. But boy, that feels like a big pain in the ass too. I want to just throw a bunch of parts in some machine, kick it off for continuous use, and go out there and open it up the next day and go, oh my God, those look great. That's the level of work I want to do. Yeah, sandblasting crate. I mean, a sandblasting cabinet at Harbor Freight is $250. Yeah, I could probably get a tumbler for between. I can get a vibrating bowl cleaner from, which aren't the greatest. I actually think the tumblers work the best. Like they literally roll over. But you can get the bowl for about $70 from Harbor Freight, and then you'd plus the medium. So then you'd have to get the, like some sort of, I'd probably get the ceramic shards. They seem to work well. And if you want to polish, they have a smoother ceramic, like, that you can put in there that will actually polish it more. The other one's a little rougher, right? The smoother one will actually polish metal items that go through it. From there, if you go to Amazon, there's a lot of ones that are just like, literally, it's like a cylinder on its side, and it's got two rubber rings at the end. It literally just sits on a little machine that spins it around, and you fill it with some coarse, coarse media, what do I say that, like cleaning medium, and then the parts, and then as it goes around, they just, like, literally constantly scratch it. And they make it so that it's like an octagon, so it's not as smooth. It has to, like, fall, right? It'll go up the side a little bit and then really, like, fall down and, like, fall down, because they want that action, that movement. If it's cylindrical, it'll just sort of gently fall, and they need a rougher action than that. So I'm telling you, I'm down the rabbit hole. When my dad had the shop, we used to have a sandblaster, and it was pretty cool, but it did make a mess. That's where the tumblers have more appeal, because you can use the medium over and over and over again. And if you buy a non-magnetic medium, all you have to do is just empty out the cylinder into a pan and use a magnet to pull all the metal parts out. And then you can use the ceramic over and over and over again. So, there's some methods out there to making this work. Steve, ammo tumbler is what you want. I think so too. I've been leaning that way. I agree. I think the ammo tumbler, right? And they use there's a couple of ones. They use steel pins, which people seem to like the stainless steel pins. The difference is, though, is that I might be using a ferrous metal, whereas I believe the casings aren't, right? So they can separate it using a magnet. Right, that's how a lot of, and plus the casings are so big, they're easier to, like, spot and take out. I'm talking about using, like, really little, bolts from, like, a Floyd Rose, the blocks from a Floyd Rose, and just putting them in and letting them tumble for a day, couple of days, Try a little cement mixer. I've seen stupider things. Just throw it in a blender, bro. What could go wrong? We use a fine white powder for the sandblaster to clean, polish aircraft parts. We used to use some sort of a sand. They had different types of sand, and they settled on this one that would really strip it down and degrease it. That's what they were a lot of times looking for, is pulling rusting grease off of things. Stripping paint. It's another thing a sandblaster's pretty good at. You know, stripping paint off, getting it down to the bare metal. Yeah, the ammo casings are brass, right? So is that non-ferrous, right? They're big anyway, easy. Wouldn't it damage the threads? It actually doesn't. That's kind of the cool thing about it, is that as a matter of fact, it's really good at scraping out all this debris. When you look at some of the ones, again, if you use the stainless steel ones, you'll see a lot of people that will put jewelry that has a lot of intricate detail in it. And that jewelry comes out, you're like, oh my God, that's unbelievable. That is unbelievable how clean it looks. And then they can go from there, you know, maybe from there put it in an ultrasonic bath, you know, or a polisher, and then an ultrasonic bath to take the excess polish off. An air eraser will work with baking soda. Yeah, corncob media. There's all kinds of walnut shell. I think when we were at the shop, they were using like a a black, almost like volcanic ash or something? It was, I thought it was, might not have been metal, but maybe it was metal. It was abrasive. It was strong stuff. Because everything else just didn't work as well. A media blast is not as aggressive as silica sand. Yeah, we must have been using some sort of a silica sand. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, it's a wabbit hole. Walnut shell better than sand for some parts, less damage done to parts. Yeah, in fact, a lot of times they'll warn and they'll say the only stones you can put in here are like diamonds. There's a short list of stones. They're like, any other stone and it's going to come out cloudy, we're going to scratch it, right? Because it doesn't exceed the hardness of the material. That's when you use the walnut, because you want to get that cleaning action, but you don't want to scratch it. So you need something softer, you know, abrasive, but still softer. And that's where like walnut shell comes in, or coconut husk, or whatever they use, you know. Slag, black slag. It was a black, almost like abrasive powder that we were using. I remember when we switched to the black stuff, that was the stuff that really like ripped through it. Yeah, it could have been like an aluminum oxide or something like that. I don't know. Have access to the sodium blaster that'll destroy aluminum. Yeah, you got to be careful. You're like, and I ruined it. Oh, I saw a dude. I felt bad for him. He wanted to, like, strip the paint off of his Charvel and had a binding on the side. And so he was using a heat gun, and he basically melted the binding and just destroyed the side of that guitar. I was like, oh, my God, that's real bad. That's a lot of friggin' work to repair that. A lot of people were like, it might be too far gone. He just let it get too hot and he just melted it. And or he was trying to pull the paint off, and the whole, when I tell you, the side of that guitar was just like, it was nasty. Speaking of nasty, I don't know if you guys remember back in the 80s, there was a cult classic film. At the time, it was not a particularly big in the box office, but man, did it have a following. A dark comedy called The Toxic Avenger. Now, here we are 40 years later, and they're coming out with Toxic Avenger 2. And Toxic Avenger 2 clearly has people in it that were fans of the original one, because they have Peter Dinklage as the Toxic Avenger. And I was like, now there's some friggin' awesome casting. Yes, bring the gravitas to this character. Thank you. Kevin Bacon is in it. Elijah Wood is in it. So these are people, I think, that when they were kids were like, I think The Toxic Avenger is a friggin' awesome movie, right? And now that they have a chance and they're older, they're like, I want to be in the movie. So I just think it has the chance of being pretty freaking awesome. And it's going to be all the, I think they have a Redbox trailer out right now that's pretty gory. And it's everything the Toxic Avenger was. And then some. That is good. And then I saw that dude's, one of that, the guy who made Toxic Avenger, he made a movie about 20, maybe 25 years ago that was just so nasty. It was like it's like a gross out, oh God, I can't think of the name of it. Made by the same guy though. And I want to say it's like a toxic food that makes people into zombies. I forget now. I know A Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. And I could see them why they went with Liam Neeson, because Drebin is supposed to be kind of a straight man. Right? Attack of the Killer Clowns could use a reboot. Absolutely. I'm surprised they haven't. Any of those cult classics should come back. And Spaceballs too. Oh my God, it's like it's nostalgia city. They're like, we're officially out of ideas, and until the AI, writes a script worth making, this is all we're doing. Like, tell us, AI, what should we be doing? How about Porky's 2? How about Airplane 3. Revenge of the Nerds 12, Police Academy 17. Up double our guitar. A remake of Convoy. We got a truckin' convoy. Ain't she a beautiful sight? Convoy. No way, another Goonies movie? I think a lot of the cast is still... I mean, Sean Astin's still around, right? Who's in Goonies? Sean Astin. Josh Brolin? God, there's a few kids. They're still around. Corey Feldman, that's right. Corey Feldman's in Goonies. That's right. That's true. Yeah, teenage Joshua. Well, they could do it all again, but as adults, right? Yeah, both Corys. Yeah, Lost Boys, a lot of those people are still around, right? Kiefer Sutherland and the Corys, right? Did they ever do a remake of Any Which Way But Loose? Or Stripes? Or what was the... What was the camp one with Bill Murray? That's right, Corey Haim died, that's true. Any Which Way You Can, I thought was the I thought Any Which Way You Can was the second one. Any Which Way But Loose was the first one. Meatballs, thank you. I couldn't think of it. We're gonna have to take on that snooty other, right? There's always the rich camp across the lake. They did a Steve Martin, I thought. Was it Steve Martin? And Phil Hartman? And Dan Aykroyd? Didn't they do a, What was that remake they did? Was that not Hogan's Heroes? McHale's Navy? No. I forget. They did Sergeant Bilko? They did a remake of some old show. Roadhouse. A Patrick Swayze Christmas down at the Roadhouse. Sergeant Bilko. Yeah. Yeah, Sergeant Bilko. Was that a Phil Silvers TV show? I think. And Spies Like Us. Oh man, remember that freaking? There was a movie. That was Chevy Chase, right? E.T. 2, The Invasion. He kind of left a little pissed. Came back for a full-on invasion. Ghostbusters wasn't just remade. It's been remade over and over again. They're like, what, you don't like that one? How about this one? No? Nothing? Okay, how about this one? Yeah, Ghostbusters, God. Yeah, bring back Ishtar 2. Yeah, Phil Silvers originally. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The Simpsons made a spoof on it. Oh God, who was it? And Paul Lynde is the deranged scoutmaster, and he goes, "Get him, scouts!" I was like, "Oh man, they're nailing it, nailed it." Make 16 candles into 55 candles, sure. And they light 55 candles for all the people from the first movie that are dead. It's not the movie you thought it was going to be. So I don't know if I can find it here, but I thought we had some new stuff. Oh, I don't see it. Huh. They don't have it on the page yet? I had received an email that I thought Epiphone was doing a new signature model, but they don't seem to have it on their page. Unless it was Gibson? No. Well, I know Gibson's doing something with, with Marcus King. That I had seen. But no, wasn't that... Is it Kramer? Somebody's got, so... You got Marcus King. Was it Kramer that was doing something? Somebody is. I thought it was Epiphone. Yeah, no. No, that's not it. Could have sworn it was Epi. But I don't see anything. Hasn't been. Unless it's under. New arrivals? No. No. No, not there. So yeah, so Marcus King, I knew about that one, but I could have sworn there was another new, like, that one I knew about. Let me check my phone here. See if it's on the Gibson PRS. I think we had something from yeah, Ibanez has a new something new. The RGR52ET. The problem is it's got Fishmans in it. I'm just not a big fan of Fishmans. Kind of losing me with the Fishmans. Gibson. No, well, that's... Well, actually, that's pretty recent. Which just tells me I get a lot of emails from them. Anything? I don't see it. I don't see it, huh? Gibson Mod Collection. We knew about that. Yeah, there's the Marcus King. We knew about that. Nothing from Epiphone, huh? Another dealer spotlight. Yeah. This one someone else could have... Like we talked about the Fluff one earlier. Could I do a search from there? Actually, you can't. Well, they don't make it easy, do they? Epiphone? Anything? No. No. No, nothing like that. Huh, alright. I'll figure it out for next week. Could have sworn someone got a new SIG model this week. New Siggy. Anyway. No, it wasn't Miranda Lambert. I would have remembered that one. I think they tried to do a RoboCop reboot, right? And it was a spectacular fail. So hockey ended this week. The Panthers won it out. And we have one game left in basketball. Series tied. 3-3. It's a one-game final. Winner, go home, the winner. Well, we'll see what happens. I think that's tomorrow night. I know hockey isn't even that big here in Florida. I know, right? Remember all those winters out on the ice? No? Nothing? Ah. Funny. Yeah, I can't think. You know what? Let me just check one more thing here. Ah. I remembered by going and looking at this. Do I have to write shit down? Richie Kotzen came out with a new Strat. The Kotzen Strat. It's made in Japan. I'm going to guess that neck is frickin' enormous if his telly is any indicator. But they came out gold hardware because he likes the gold. And it is the new Richie Kotzen Stratocaster. Do they have any? Is that it? Yeah, it's one of the colors. Yeah, he likes to do the abalone inlays. Yeah. And it has a 12-inch radius, a little flatter. Yeah, I knew it. Thick C profile. Oh, dude. He's not kidding. I don't know if you've ever played the Kotzen telly, but that's a slab of wood right there. A big old slabola. Super jumbo frets. Mm-hmm. That's it. Oh, you are. It's been available in Japan for years. That very often happens. They see what's popular in other markets, and then they bring it here. You know, I swear they had a 65 reissue Strat in Japan that did well, and then all of a sudden they had the 65 reissue here. But they didn't do the binding on the neck, unlike Japan. Yeah, standard binding. Yeah, that's a good question. How much? Well, it's MIJ. So, I'm thinking 1,800. $1,779. $1,779. Sounds about right. I hate the plastic truss channel. I'm with you. I don't like it when it's black like that. I like the walnut. I'm with you on that. The plug, the truss plug at the headstock. Yeah, can you just use walnut? I just think that the black stuff, it's too contrasty. Right? It's almost like too much. It sticks out a lot more. The only thing I'm not crazy about is I'm not a big fan of the pearloid pickguards. You know, I'd rather see that be like, you know, the black or green or parchment, you know, mint green or black or parchment. But it would look good black, to be honest. Yeah, Yeah, not a fan. Ew. Yeah, maybe it would look better if it was like an aged, like an off-white, but it just feels, I don't know. It reminds me of like the old, like when I was a kid, there were a lot of vanity items like that in the bathroom, right? Like tissue paper holders and like mirror frames and, right, there's a lot of that pearl stuff. Hairbrushes, right? That whole pearl thing was like really big. So it's like, like you say, it does kind of remind you of the bathroom, right? A lot of toiletry items were made out of that look, and a lot of like mirrors and hairbrushes. Yellow sync with Vola counters, pretty much. Yeah, it does. It does pop against it. I know what you're saying. Against the, but I almost think it's almost like a little too busy. No. Here's what you like. I just think it would look with the gold and the, and the flame. I'm just saying, and the gold hardware and all that. I'm just saying, I think black would look like wicked classy. I'm just saying. What's up, Black Shoe Bear? Would have looked nicer with a black pickguard and pickups. I could see that with that really working with that flame and the gold, right? I think black would work really well. Have to do a few mock-ups. Yeah, Brady Bunch avocado and orange. So I got a little pet peeve. You ever order something off of like eBay and they have a policy? This happened a few times. They have a policy where they have to ship within so many days of ordering, right? You've got to, as the seller, you have to ship within, I think, 2 days or 3 days. And so they ship like the next day. But then right, so already 1 day has gone by. And then you keep checking the tracking, and they're like, we've received the number, but we don't have possession of the item yet. And cut to 2 days after that, they finally make their way over to either UPS or the post office and actually drop the friggin' package off. I really hate that. It's like they're just buying time by getting the label out and getting that up, and you know, it's just like they print the label immediately, and then they sit around staring at each other until they get around to making it over to the, like, I really annoys the shit out of me. It's like, what are you doing? Sometimes I'll get an email saying, hey, I just so you know, I can't make it to the post office, or I can't make it to UPS until Thursday or whatever, right? They'll give you a date. That I get. Sure, okay, yeah, no worries, man. It's when you order it, and again, labels made like the next day, then the next day, nothing, and then the next day, nothing, and then the next day you see, like, overnight at like 10 p.m., it got into the friggin' system. And they're like, come on, man. You got this. I know, eBay counts printing the label as the item being shipped. I can't stand that. They're like, your item has been shipped, and I'm like, has it though? Has it? I really, really freaking hate that. I went through that with Guitar Center one time, and I called up and read them the friggin' riot act. I ordered it on a Sunday night. And, or I might have ordered it even earlier. Might have been like a Friday or a Saturday. So I'm not expecting it to ship over the weekend. But Monday comes and nothing happens. Tuesday, nothing happens. Wednesday, or it might have been Tuesday, I called and I'm like, hey, I'm just making sure you got this order, because I put it in like literally like 4 days ago, and I haven't heard anything. And they're like, oh, it's definitely going out today. And I think that was Tuesday. Wednesday comes and goes, nothing. Thursday, I called them and I'm like, do you have a tracking number for this? And they're like, oh, no, it's going out today. I said, don't bother. I'm here to process a refund. You know, and the time it took you to ship, I'm sort of over it. I was all hot to get it like 6 days ago. Now that's worn off. So don't ship it. Let's cancel. I want a refund. Let's cancel that. It hasn't shipped yet. I want it canceled right now. And he was like, okay. As he's canceling it, I get an email saying, your item has shipped. And I said, well, I'm warning you right now. I just got an email telling me the item shipped. So you might want to run into that back room and make sure that stuff isn't about to get on a truck, because I'm going to refuse the shipment. And he was like, okay, hold on. Like, what are you guys doing over there? Exactly. It's a false sense of hope when that happens. It's like you get the label, you're like, all right, finally. But it is just buying themselves a little time. Shipped immediately. Did you, though? Did you? Amen, brother. Last Reverb guitar I bought. Label printed Friday morning. Actually shipped Monday evening. When I sell something on Reverb, let's say I sold a pedal, and that pedal sells at like 3:30 in the afternoon, I can guarantee you by 4:30 that pedal is in transit. If I sold a guitar, and I generally box guitars up as soon as I list them, right, so they're just ready for the label, and it's before like 6 p.m., it is literally going to get shipped that day. I run it right down to either UPS or FedEx, or it's usually UPS. They usually give me the best label. Sometimes it's FedEx, but it's pretty rare. It's usually UPS when I go through Reverb. Literally the same day. And I remember some dudes like email, through the Reverb system saying, dude, I want to thank you so much for getting that out to me. And I said, well, if I didn't get it out right now, you probably would go the whole weekend without it. But now it's going to be there on Friday. But if I didn't bring that out today, you were going to go over the whole weekend. There's no way that was going to get delivered Saturday or Sunday. It was almost certainly going to get delivered on Monday. So, good to just get it out right now. And, quite frankly, I get my money faster. Because they won't release your money until it's in transit. They figured that crap out, too. That people will say they shipped it when they never have. So they wait until their systems say it's truly in transit. And then they're like, okay, we'll start to release your funds. So it's in my benefit, too. I got it down to a freaking science. So I tend to ship usually within 60 to 90 minutes of sale. I'm like fucking right on it. Like now, time to... I will treat others like I would expect to be treated and feel better about it. I don't know what the name of my Reverb store page is. It's probably Steve from Boston or some shit like that. Carly, waiting on a part for your brand new smoker called Thursday. Label printed Friday. That's the last update. Yeah. God, I hate that. I hate that. It's like, could you get your ass in gear? Stop blowing smoke up my ass. Like you shipped it. You haven't shipped anything. And it really is annoying. Bought my new Greenie, $6,000 New Zealand. Wow, yeah. And the pickguard was missing. And oh my God, Tony. How annoying is that? It's like, you would think for $6,000 you could give me the whole guitar intact. I just scavenged another Greenie they had in another branch. My God. Yeah. Annoying. Exactly. If they're sending USPS, who knows when you're going to get it? They are all over the place. I was getting something from somebody, and they were going from, I think it was FedEx. I forget if it was FedEx or United States Postal Service. Could have been United States Postal Service. But it went from Nashville. That's why I think it's FedEx, because they have a huge presence in Nashville. They went from Nashville to New Hampshire, to a big sorting facility in New Hampshire. That's why I'm thinking it's USPS, because there is an enormous New Hampshire sorting facility for, like, priority mail. It all goes through this big Nashua, distribution center. But it was one of the two, and it went from Nashville to New Hampshire, back to Nashville, back to New Hampshire. Like they were like, oops, sorry dude, we put that one on the wrong plane. And it went back to Nashville, but don't worry, on the next flight we're bringing it back up, and then back up to New Hampshire again. And then it started to work its way through the system down to Massachusetts, down to where I live. I was like, oh, nice. That was totally, they threw it on the wrong friggin' plane. If Clapton was alive, would probably play in the Richie Kotzen signatures. We can only speculate, but probably. Listen, if Richie Kotzen were alive today, he would probably be playing the Richie Kotzen Strat. Probably. Currently have a US USPS waiting to receive item status for a Stumac order that was shipped on Thursday. Look, it's on my to-do list, okay? Why, God, why? As I always tell my wife, it's the worst thing that ever happened to anyone ever. She's like, if Richie Kotzen were alive today, he'd be insisting on walnut. Exactly. Do I use Tumbler from Germany? I can't really. They can't sell me a lot of stuff. Anything that can be sold in the U.S. market, they can't sell me. So sometimes you go on there to get a guitar that is just sold out in America, and they say, oh, sorry, no, we can't ship this to the United States. You're out of our shipping area. Can't ship it there. Europe only. So very much like car dealerships, there are regions. It's like a regional dealer. So it's Europe, but they can't go to the States except for Harley Benton, because that's an in-house brand. And because Harley Benton is an in-house brand, they can ship that anywhere, you know. Here's the Richie getting a signature Strat. There's rumors. I've heard a few things. Thought he just had a telly. I don't know, Michael, but I'm just saying, if he did have a Strat, it'd probably look like that. Probably. It would look a little something like this. Probably. We can only speculate. Something like that. Do we have a cat? No? No kitty? No kitty? No kitty. What are you doing? What? Cry, cry, baby. Rumor has it. Exactly. Just a little like that. Just a little bit. No, a little bit. A little bit. Tone tonight sounds especially great. I think it's just the frets on this guitar. Really, really good sounding frets. Listen to that fret wire. Have a good one, John. Exactly, stone frets. It's stone wire. Well, I've set a couple of cat traps right there, but no luck. Is she in there? No, I was going to say, did she go to the other one? No, she's right there. She's like, why isn't this window open? Why don't we have an open window? Because it's 80 degrees out and muggy? I mean, I guess. Big time in London. Congrats on the 300. Thank you. It's the spectacular 300th show. Hold on. Sorry. Where was I? It's our 300th spectacular. I do need an EBMM in my life. I tell you, I've been digging this guitar. Just playing it here tonight. Oh, it's nice. Pickups sound great too, like 90% of it. Chicago Music Exchange sold out of their exclusive Bubble Metallic Ultra Strat. I got one. Don't know if when it will restock. Yeah, I'm just saying, if Richie Kotzen were alive today, he'd probably be playing the Bubble Metallic Ultra Strat. Probably. We can only speculate. I thought they could ship to Mexico and then to the U.S. You know, I don't know. I don't know. From Tolman? I don't know. I know. Get a brand new leather couch. Oh, God, I know. This side here, not the other arm, only this arm. But this arm, every single cat, I think they smell the other cat scratching it. They've been like tearing, and I tell you, the couch is held up for a $225 friggin' couch. I think $225, $235 from Amazon. It's pretty good. You might notice, I don't know if you noticed this, it's higher up. I actually got some risers for the feet. It was too low to the ground. Hard to get in and out of that thing. It was way too short. So I got some risers, and my God, it's like infinitely better. And they make these risers that are so sturdy. Each riser can hold like 1,100 pounds, and there's 6 risers. So I should be good. We can only speculate. Are they using Dixie cups or risers? They kind of look like Dixie cups. I got the round ones, and they do look like a cone, but they have a pad to really lock in the top, where the foot goes in, and because it sinks into that pad and really gets locked in. They've been pretty good. They were cheap too, $20 for 6. What's this thing? I don't know if you can see. It's got the sick Boyd's eye. Hello. With the Boyds. You seeing that? You seeing this? You seeing what I'm seeing? Pretty. Can I get it on bird's eye cam? Yeah, a little bit. Oh. Yeah, sure. Oh, sure. Right, so you get more space for the cats. It does. Though at first, like anything, it's when I put them in, they were like walking near it, like sniffing, looking. What the hell happened? What is this? They go to jump up on the couch and like this is higher. This sofa is higher. Yes. Oh man, good sounding tune though. Can I get a PRS SE hollow body soon? Maybe not soon. I'm about, not 4 weeks, I'm about 3 weeks out from the next round. So in fact, I gotta go in for them for labels soon. Start sending this round back. So, because I record like earlier. So, but on the next round, I can look. Was there one in particular? So last weekend, I don't know, I don't think I mentioned it, but I got a bunch of friggin' masonry work done. I had the back step, it's not a lot, but going into the basement, it really started to crack and break up. And I tried to use a crack filler, but, which was sturdy and strong and everything, but there's no way to put it in the front where it had been cracking a little bit along the walls, right? Because that filler is really meant to go on the top and use gravity to go down inside. So I wound up picking up some mortar, because mortar has the best like adhesion of like any of that stuff, right? Mortar's used to put stones and bricks and whatever together. The problem with mortar though is that it's got some ingredients that lie. It's got something in it that is caustic, so you got to be real careful. It severe burns, so you gotta be careful with coming in contact. You gotta wear gloves and do all this crap to work with it, but you gotta wear a mask too. You gotta be careful with that stuff. And but I was able to whip up a tub and go around and like patch up my foundation in a couple of spots, and do those back steps. My God, I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. I let it, set for a little bit, and then I was able to use like a what is that? Like the blue steel, like taping. I have a bunch of them because I couldn't find it, and I kept just running out and buying another one. You know that the taping, the big square taping. Scrape. No, it's not a scraper. It's knife, taping knife. But it's enormous, and it's very sturdy. I was able to use that to get nice square. I was like, almost looks like you know what you're doing. I was like, damn, that's pretty good. I was pretty happy to get that done. And I had back here in this corner of the foundation, some rocks. You could see them down on the ground. Oh, we had an opening. The cats used to be always interested. I said, I swear there's like mice living in there, right? Living in my freaking foundation. So I was able to pack that with the mortar, put some stones in there to fill in so you didn't have to use all mortar, and then pack it all back in. I went and checked it actually today, first time in like a week. God damn if that isn't perfect. Yeah, it's not a trowel. It's a knife. I think it's a taping knife. You know those big taping knives, right? It's a big, long, friggin' rectangular, but it's like blue steel. It's very strong. Or like a spackle knife. Either way, I'd call it a taping knife. I know we're already 1.5 hours. I know, I can't believe it. There was another thing I could do. I mean, we're getting good. We're getting good tones. But let me take a look here. Let me close this out. Will we get this to work or not? Here, so I can read the chat while I'm working on this thing here. Hold on. Boop, right there. So this is a demo of Tonex. We can turn that modulation off if you don't like it, but it was the only thing that was giving a nice stereo effect. To be honest, I kind of like it on. And that's the tweed. and try out a few of these. That's a Vox. I recently found out the extent of effects in Tonex now. Not bad. I think they could still do more. Oh, compared to THU, it's garbage. You know, they've just like dipped their toe into the effects. Nothing like with Amplitube or THU or Guitar Rig. They're all miles ahead of what Tonex is doing. But Tonex had to do something. Tonex was turning into like the bias, right? Then they had to come out with bias effects. Because just an amp by itself is just too dry. I can turn the gain up. I think that actually sounds pretty good. It's the first time those words have ever come out of my mouth about Tonex. How's that for bass? And then a little dark. I would say that there's not a ton of THU ones that have that kind of bass. That's a lot of bass. It's like a Soldano. Like, what if we take this? This is like a... I actually think that sounds pretty good. Again, kind of bassy, but, you know, usable. And now it remembers the gain. I'm going to put it back to normal gain. I kind of like it. Like, this needs a lot of help. A little muffled. Does better with the treble pickup. But for every one of those sort of muffled ones, this isn't muffled at all. And that's with the, again, the gain up. I turn the gain up. You wonder if it was too bassy. Again, not bad, but that's a 2-rock. Again, I'm just fooling around with the, that's a little. Yeah, some sounds are really boxy. It just. That's pretty good. That's the bass on the Tiny Terror. So here is the normal gain. And then we can put the gain up. You know, that's pretty good. That's their Tiny Terror profile. Again, this is Tonex. Yeah, no, that's Tonex. I mean, of all the competing packages I've heard, it sounds decent, but only when I turn the chorus, the delay, and the reverb on. That's the Tweed, which I don't think is really meant for massive overdrive. And again, these are sort of all snapshots. He's been frozen in place for a while. I mean, not bad. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's so much easier before the risers. What, crybaby? Oh, yeah. Scratching on the scratchy pad. Anyway, I kind of like it. That's a little bright. See, that's dark. I like that. That's a Fender. That's a little boxy. Bassy. Boxy. That's the Kraken. All right. I'm going to dump that. And we'll go back to our THU. Takes a second to load. Motley Crue. Now you're like, wait a second. You're like, but it, what? It's not as loud. I think the output on Tonex is stronger. Have you kept any Monday guitars? No, those aren't mine. They're loaners. I've been I've been mainly focusing on like older and more vintage style guitars. So like I think the last 3 guitars I bought were the Jackson, right, from 2001, the Kramer from 1986, and that RG 550 from 1988, I think, 88 or 89, I think 88. Got a John Fine replica from Firefly. I think I saw those. It's got his white and red paint job. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Right. White finish with red trim. Well, the XFX is really nice. It's just that I find it hard to justify the literally 10x expense. Like, an XFX is literally 10 times the money. You can buy a THU for about $169, $169. An FM9 is going to run you about $1,800, and an XFX 3 is going to be like, I think they had dropped them down to $22.99, but I think they can't get the regular chip, so they put in the turbo chip and they charge you for it. I want to say they're back up to $24.99 now, because there's the shortage of the regular chips. They're only using the turbo now. Everyone's getting turbo for free. Oh no, you're paying more because we can't get the other chip, so it's turbo now. So turbo that wallet, because yeah. Oh no, we can't absorb that. Oh no, that every time I open the case and look at that 550, I'm like, man, what a friggin' nice guitar that is. Yeah. White with red trim. Yeah. The mirror pickguard. Yeah. Right. And Fred Porter's baked maple, which is different from his, but close enough. Oh, and it's got a kill switch too. I'm trying to remember. I feel like he's got a kill switch in at least 1 or 2 of his guitars. No? I could have sworn he did a kill switch in one of his guitars, or 2 of them. If you want to see a cool guitar, check out the Headless guitar. I saw that Nags built for Larry Mitchell. Yeah, I actually did see that. I say whatever, I play my Vola Oz. I love the Vola Oz. I got a couple right there, right? I think that's an Oz. That's an Oz V3. And that's the Oz TNC. I like the OZs. Those are really nice. I do have coffee left. Do I have any coffee left? I do. A Bootsy Collins and Buckethead interview? Is that recent? I will have to see it. I don't know which guy would be weirder. I'm going to guess Buckethead. New Charvels look tasty. Charvel Super Stocks. Check it out. Is this your guitar? Is that it? The Pro Mod Plus SoCal? I do like Charvel. Oh, here. I like the blade switch too. I'm a big fan. Pro Mod Plus. Modified for higher performance. But don't all your guitars... All our guitars have high performance. All our guitars have high performance. This is just higher performance. Oh, okay. Just making sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's all high performance. Just, it's slightly higher performance, that's all. I don't think I could do the pink. I don't know, maybe. I'd need a trim on it so I could do the Jeff Beck thing. See, that's the one I like. Aquaflake! I had one of these here for Guitar of the Week. A SoCal Style 1. Pretty good. They had... I want to say, no... No, they don't have a... They don't have a double humbucker? No, no. Yeah. It was one of these. One of these. And that was it. That's the guitar. They had one of these on Guitar Center used maybe 6 months ago. It was right around Christmas. And it was like, I want to say $4.49. It was cheap. I was like, wow, that's really cheap. But I didn't get it because I didn't like the satin finish. Not a big fan of the satin. If it was gloss, I would have bought it in a heartbeat. The ebony fretboard and all that. I remember it was a hardtail, though. It was definitely a hardtail. It was not, did not have a Floyd Rose. But it was cheap. And I was like, oh, man. Right, yeah, see. So, yeah. Pickguard, gloss finish, right. That's $11.49. That's $7.99. What a difference when you go to a satin finish, $8.39. Yeah. So it was cheap. It was like, it wasn't half price. It wasn't like it was $3.99, but it wasn't much over half price. And I was like, oh, damn. Am I buying this? But I didn't because of the satin finish. I was like, no, hold up. Stop it. Oh, man. Well, it is 8:59. Probably time to wrap it up. Have a good one, speaker. So, you guys have a wonderful week. Check out Monday's Guitar of the Week. I shot that video today. Nice guitar. Looking forward to having you guys see that one. It's you know, I mean, compared to this guitar, it's a very different guitar. Very different. Very different. But it should, other than the color, I think it's also blue. Now that I think of it. And that's where the similarities end. So, super thanks to everyone for hanging out tonight. Super extra special thanks to anyone who contributed. Always appreciate that. And of course, Brofist, my mod squad. Hashtag Brofist. Hashtag mod squad. Hashtag Ben Coombs at Christmas. We are officially losing light starting today. Our summer solstice was last night at like 10:45 p.m. So we're still gaining light in the evening, but we're losing enough light in the morning. Our earliest morning was actually a couple of weeks ago. Our latest night is like going to be, I think, a week from now. So the morning, although it's losing light, it's losing it faster. It's been losing light for a little bit now, but the evening was gaining enough light to offset it. After today, the evening isn't gaining enough light to offset the loss of the morning, so we shrink. Not by much, by like literally a second or two a day for the first couple of weeks, and then you finally start ramping it up. It's pretty crazy, but all right, dudes. You guys have a wonderful week. Thank you, Speaker. Show 300. And I think I only have one video slated for this week, but we'll see how it goes. You never know. I could do another one. I could. I'll do it. I'll do it. Don't dare me. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful week. I'll see you all in a week. And there you go. Until then, have a wonderful week. And I'll see you next week. All right. No, you rock. All right.